Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Baxter Student Ambassador Program webinar of our 2022 season. My name is Dan McDonald, Sales and Marketing Development Associate with Baxter Media, and I'm here with Riley Hoogsteen, one of our student finalists from Algonquin College. Now, just before I get into things, I'd like to give an enthusiastic shout out to our program sponsors this year. We have Manulife, Propel, powered by Tourism HR Canada, ACTA, the Association of Canadian Travel Agencies, TIO, the Tourism Industry Association of Ontario, and SCAL Canada. Thank you for helping to make BSAP a continued success. I'd also like to let everyone know that at the end of this webinar, you'll have the chance to submit a question or two to our finalists. To do so, please type those into the Q&A section of the public chat box or the public chat box itself, which are both towards the right-hand side of this screen. And remember, this is a live session, so your patience is appreciated during any technical difficulties that might arise. And without further ado, I will now hand things over to Riley. Welcome, Riley. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone. It's okay, I can just get started, or would you like me to wait a little longer?
You could start now, by all means.
Perfect. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tourism in Japan. Oh, okay. Sorry. My name is Riley Hoogsteen. I'm a student from Algonquin College in Ottawa, Ontario, in their Tourism Travel Services program, and I hope you're excited to learn about Japan today. But before we get started, how many people here have been to Japan before? Perhaps you can let me know in the chat. For myself, I have been there just one time in 2016. I was supposed to go in 2020, but obvious things happened to prevent that. So what we're going to cover today is first, I'm going to start by telling you my overall goal. Next, we'll discuss a few things about getting there. This will include discussing the travel agent, their role, what tour operators go to Japan, and finally, what you should look into regarding insurance or if you would require a visa. From there, I will tell you why I think Japan is the perfect destination to recommend. We will see some famous sites, and we'll close out by covering a glimpse of the different options a traveler may have in Japan. So, without further ado, let's get started. My goal today is to teach travel agents why they should recommend Japan to their clients and why I believe it to be the ultimate destination. Now, join me on this journey as we go through Japan. The first step is to get to Japan, but how can we get there? Well, there are 5 international airports across Japan, 2 of them in Tokyo, 2 in Osaka, as well as 1 in Aichi in the Chubu region. Okay, so now you know where you can fly to, but what about other information? What kind of insurance do I need? What services do the clients have? Would someone be able to help me with that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Any traveler's best friend should be their travel agent. The travel agent is someone who can be used to answer questions a client may have while having access to special software such as Galileo or Apollo, which can assist with booking the foundation for your trip. This is also one of the main ways for the travel agent to make money through means of commission from assisting their clients with booking packages, flights, or insurance. If the travel agent or the client is looking to find more information on Japan and what it has to offer, I recommend using one of these 4 websites. Websites like Japan I Can are good for booking hotels, while Japan Wonder Travel is great for discovering tour packages or excursions. Lastly, Japan Guide and JNTO are great for information, details, and booking as well. However, if you're looking for companies to travel with who aren't based in Japan, Jakarta Travel is great for those looking for a luxury style trip. Jakarta has 6 recommended tours on their website, each with their own focus, plus information on 17 different places within Japan. While if you're looking to do more group travel or looking for a more affordable trip, companies like Kontiki, On The Go Tours, One Life Adventures, G Adventures, and Trafalgar are all great options. Each of these companies feature between 3 through 8 different bundles, so there's a lot of variety available. So now we have covered how to get there and who can help us. But what if we need insurance? Is any insurance recommended? When traveling internationally, it is always recommended to have some form of insurance. Japan is a long distance to travel for many people in the world, so it's always recommended to have some form of travel protection insurance, as any delays will cause some serious issues. If traveling for any reason other than leisure, acquiring a visa isn't too difficult. Japan is trying to set up an e-visa application system that will be as simple as filling out an application form online and submitting it. Otherwise, you should seek out the Japanese embassy within your country for assistance. The basic visa is a single entry visa which is valid for 3 months and will allow you to stay in the country for up to 15 consecutive days. But do keep in mind it is required by Japanese law to have some form of medical travel insurance if you are traveling to Japan on a visa. So, now we have covered the role of the travel agent and covered information on insurance. But what about the country? Why Japan? I believe Japan is a wonderful country that has a rich history, strong culture, and plenty of fascinating sights to see. I believe Japan is the perfect destination as it has a wide variety of things to do, which can appeal to any type of traveler while also having great accessibility features. Some, excuse me, some of these accessibility features are the Japan Rail Pass and the Pocket Wi-Fi device. The Japan Rail Pass is something you need to purchase prior to your trip, and it can be done with ease through a variety of companies, JR Pass as an example. The Rail Pass will allow your clients to travel as much as they want on Japan's famous Shinkansen bullet trains within the set time frame. There are even fare calculators online that you can use to see how much money you'll save if you purchase one of these rather than booking individual train tickets. Lastly, there are these handy devices called Pocket Wi-Fi, which are rentable from companies, again like JR Pass, or can even be given to customers at certain hotels or stays, which will allow your customer to travel around freely with full access to the internet without worrying about data charges. These devices are saviors for finding directions, new places to discover, or simply finding somewhere to stop and eat. Now, we are going to dive deeper into what Japan has to offer while looking at a variety of different tourism niches. From seeing famous sites to nature tourism to history tourism and many more, let's explore Japan. And what a way to start! I think the only fair way to begin talking about Japan and its most famous sites is by introducing Mount Fuji, or as the locals call it, Fuji-san, to show their respect for its beauty and significance. While Fuji-san is Japan's tallest mountain and an active volcano, it holds a place in the country's history, significance to the religion of Shintoism, and has become an image for the country worldwide. Fuji-san draws people to the country who are looking to experience its beauty, relax by its 5 surrounding lakes, or attracts the adventure seekers wanting to be one of the 200,000 people who climb it each and every year. The last 2 famous sites we'll cover today are the Itsukushima Shrine in Miyajima and the Arashiyama Bamboo Grove in Kyoto. Itsukushima Shrine was built in the year 593 and has since coined the term the Trinity of Japanese Beauty, as it's a man-made structure surrounded by the sea and the mountains. While the Arashiyama Bamboo Grove, located about 20 minutes away from Kyoto by train, is one of the most photographed forests on Earth. Excuse me for a moment. While Japan has plenty of famous sites to see, we only have so much time today, so the rest I'll have to leave to you to discover on your own. However, we are going to begin our journey through the different niches that Japan has to offer, starting with my personal favorite, nature tourism. I'm not sure about you, but the first thing I think about when I think of Japan is their gardens and stunning scenery. Did you know Japan has over 200 gardens nationwide that are open daily for the public to visit? While some, like Kenroku-en in Kanazawa, are dedicated garden spaces, most castles and even some temples have their own gardens as well. Both Kenroku-en and the Imperial Palace Garden in Tokyo are considered 2 of Japan's elite gardens. But gardens aren't everything, as much as I would like to think so, and not surprisingly, Japan has a lot of unique features to it. From the Iramote mangroves in Okinawa to the Tottori Desert to Fuji-san in the Japanese Alps, there are plenty of man-made and natural beauties in Japan that embody peace, culture, and nature. And I don't think it's possible to talk about nature tourism in Japan without talking about one of Japan's biggest seasons for tourists, the cherry blossom or sakura viewing season. This famous season features the cherry blossom trees grow and turn into this beautiful shade of pink, and depending where you visit in the country will factor into your chances of seeing them. If you were to visit Okinawa, your best bet is late February to early March, while if you go to Hokkaido, they might not be seen until mid-May. The next stop on our trip is dedicated for those looking to relax through health and wellness tourism. Whether you're hoping to relax on a beach or soak in refreshing hot volcanic water, Japan is the place to be. From the plethora of beaches in Okinawa to the beaches of coastal cities like Kamakura to the hells of Beppu and the 3,000 hot springs across Japan, there are plenty of opportunities to find the perfect getaway for someone looking to revitalize or just enjoy a nice, relaxing, stress-free trip. I mean, even the Japanese snow monkeys enjoy the hot springs here. Next on our journey, we will explore the cities of Japan. Japan, like most countries, has a lot of big cities. And while they all have something great about them, I can't really cover them all. These cities I'm focusing on are some of the best places to go shopping across the country. Tokyo in the east has lots of variety and styles across the different districts. Ginza for high-profile luxury shopping, to Akihabara for all your technology or anime needs, to Shibuya for the most recent trends. Whereas Fukuoka in the west has Canal City Hakata, which is known as the city within the city, a massive shopping complex with multiple hotels, theaters, over 250 shops, and even a canal that runs through the building. As fun as shopping is, there's one form of shopping that I think beats out the rest, though, and that is food. One thing unique to Japan is their Japanese cuisine. Japan, like many Asian countries, revolve a lot around street foods or casual dining at restaurants. From picking up takoyaki at a street vendor in Dotonbori, Osaka, to stopping by a ramen bar in Tokyo, to just picking up a quick bento box from a 7-Eleven. Japan has a lot of affordable, quick, and convenient delicious food available at every turn. If you wanted to experience the food firsthand, a lot of cities across Japan also have tons of daily food tours or even cooking courses you can book. This is perfect if you're interested in learning how to make some of the dishes you experience on your trip, or you can see up close how the locals make them. One of the most popular and famous places for these tours is the Tsukiji Fish Market, the largest fish market in the world. Though some of the vendors were forced to move to the Toyosu market as a result of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, there are still lots of tours that take place in the Tsukiji Fish Market. During one of these tours, you'll explore the market with a guide, try different items from different vendors, and sometimes you'll also get to try making a dish yourself. I myself had been on one of these tours where I toured the famous Tsukiji Fish Market and then went to the Ginza cooking studio to create some of the dishes we experienced. An interesting fact is while Japanese locals think of Osaka as their food capital, since it's the birthplace of so many signature Japanese dishes, Tokyo is actually considered the food capital of the world, being home to the most Michelin stars and has over 160,000 restaurants. There's a lot of options there. Now, I do apologize, as our next stop is a bit of a heavier topic: history and dark tourism. A country with a history like no other, Japan, the only country to have been on the receiving end of an atomic weapon, the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum and Park are the centerpiece of the now beautiful, peaceful city of Hiroshima. The Genbaku Dome is a grim reminder of the tragedy of war, as the only structure that remains from the fallout of the bomb. On a lighter note, another icon of Japan is the Himeji Castle, also known as the White Heron Castle, which was named Japan's first ever UNESCO World Heritage Site back in 1993. A castle with history dating back to the year 1333, today this castle opens its doors to visitors to explore the grounds and has become one of the most popular spots for photos during Japan's cherry blossom season. Meanwhile, in the middle of the Japanese Alps resides the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Shirakawago, a mountain town where visitors are able to spend a night in the 250-year-old Gashozukuri farmhouses, known for their unique shape and roofing. Another important element of Japanese history is religion. Japan has two main religions, Shintoism and Buddhism. There are over 100,000 Shinto shrines across Japan and 85,000 Buddhist temples. While some of the most famous sites across Japan are related to Buddhism, there are still famous Shinto shrines. One of the most famous is the Fushimi Inari Shrine, known for the Senbon Tori, which translates simply to thousands of torii gates. The shrine itself is located in southern Kyoto and one of many dedicated to the Shinto god Inari, the god of rice. Behind the shrine is the entrance and beginning to the 2 to 3 hour long Senbon Tori hike. As for famed Buddhism sites, Tadaiji, Sensoji, and Gotokuen are three that stand out among the rest. Sensoji, built in the 7th century, located in Asakusa in Tokyo, depicts the path of becoming a Buddha. Tadaiji, considered the world's largest wooden building, was built in the year 752 in the then capital city of Nara and became the head temple for Buddhists across Japan. Lastly, in the coastal city of Kamakura sits the great Daibutsu of Kamakura, which has survived numerous natural disasters that have since destroyed its former temple of Kotokuen. Our last stop today is going to be adventure and sports tourism. When you think of Japan, you might not initially think about these two topics. However, in 2017, Hokkaido had a total of 2.2 million tourists that visited the island. While I'm not sure all of them went for skiing, skiing is the biggest attraction for Hokkaido in the winter. Neseko in particular is Hokkaido's most famous and busiest skiing spot, famed for its fine powdered snow. However, if skiing isn't your thing and you would rather experience something like a national park, Japan has a total of 34 national parks. Kamakochi, a part of the Chubu Sengaku National Park, is in the middle of the Japanese Alps and attracts visitors for camping and hiking adventures. Mount Okohotaka, Japan's third tallest mountain and popular hiking destination, is found within Kamakochi. Other national parks are Shirotoko in the north of Hokkaido and Akiyoshi-dai Kwasi National Park, which is home to the Akiyoshi-do Cave, Japan's largest limestone cave which frequents cave explorers. And while I would love to continue, that is all I have to offer today. Japan has so much to offer for a wide range of different clientele, and we only scratch the surface of what Japan has to offer from a variety of different viewpoints. Between everything I shared today with you all to the easy accessibility of getting around via the rail pass or the portable Wi-Fi, I strongly believe this is the ideal vacation destination for any travel agent's future clients. Go shichou arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much, Riley. That was excellent. We'll now open it up to questions. Feel free to submit any questions that you guys might have to Riley. And Ian Stalker from Baxter Media has submitted a question here. He says, glad to see you touched on nature tourism. Do you think it gets overshadowed by the big Japanese cities?
I think yes and no. The main reason why I think that is because I think from a tourist standpoint, if you don't know much about Japan, you might just think of Tokyo as a giant concrete jungle. However, within Tokyo itself I believe there's like at least 5 gardens that I personally went to before that they really stress the importance of. And a lot of people, like lots of locals, lots of tourists get to go there and get to go there for free sometimes. Like I went to one called Shinjuku Gyoen, don't remember the full name right now, but Shinjuku Gyoen Park, and it was completely free for entry, and I spent maybe about 5 hours there, and I saw lots of tourists and lots of locals. So I think it's easy to see the cities, but I think it's also really easy to see the gardens and the nature, because a lot of people and a lot of locals focus on it.
Absolutely. It's been quite a while since I've been to Japan, but I absolutely agree with that answer. And Ian is asking, how deserving is Japan of its ultra-modern image?
Do you mind clarifying what you mean by ultra-modern image?
Ian, feel free to clarify there in the comments box there, and I'll move on to the next question.
I just want to make sure that I answer it correctly when I answer it, is all.
Of course. Yeah, of course, definitely. And Andrea is asking, what made you choose the travel and tourism program at Algonquin as opposed to other opportunities at Algonquin?
Growing up after I finished high school, one of the things that I found to enjoy the most was service and helping other people. After high school, I worked in a lot of restaurants, and I even was a store manager for a retail store, and I really enjoyed the interaction with people and helping people have a super pleasant and once in a lifetime experience, whether it was me creating a meal that they loved or just helping them find the item they were looking for. It's something that I really had a passion for. And I have a huge passion for learning about the world and involving tourism. And I thought that it was kind of like the perfect marriage in a way where I can help people be able to experience that once in a lifetime experience they want to do while having it backed by my passion of the world and tourism.
Great. Thanks, Riley.
Sorry. I guess I can turn my camera on.
Oh, by all means, sure.
I do apologize.
No, that's okay. No, totally up to you. And I don't see any other submissions from Ian here, but yeah, he was asking about Japan and whether it's deserving of its ultra modern image. I guess he just thinks and I think he means in terms of technology and in terms of even infrastructure and stuff like that. I guess Japan and Tokyo in particular has, and some of the other major cities, Kyoto and Yokohama, I think have a reputation as being very, very sort of ahead of the rest of the world instead of technology and infrastructure. So maybe that's what he was referring to.
And I think it is deserving of it. And I think Japan has such a great foundation behind their technology. Like, if you just look at the Shinkansen bullet train and how convenient, on time, and reliable it is for the locals and tourists, I think that kind of pinpoints how deserving they are of their ultra modern image, because other countries do have bullet trains, but I don't think they're as smooth and convenient as Japan's. And they have systems in place for tourists to be able to access it so easily without like any worry through the rail pass that they kind of highlight that on its own. And I think if you go to major cities like Tokyo, Osaka, Yokohama, you'll see a lot of technology and you'll see a lot of it in your face. And they kind of, I find, have so many things that are unique about them in the technology department that I think they are deserving of that ultra modern image.
Absolutely. Great answer. Thanks, Riley. And I don't see any other submitted questions here, so I think that might be it. So I would like to thank everyone that attended this webinar today. Thank you all so much for being here and for supporting the BSAP program going into its 8th year of this 2022 season. So Riley, thank you so much for your fantastic presentation. It was great having you here virtually with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So we'll be in touch again over the next week or so. So you'll definitely hear from us no later than Monday next week.
Sure. Sounds great. Good.
Okay. Thanks again, Riley, and take care, everyone. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, thank everyone for watching and tuning in.
Bye, everyone.